Deep within the untamed wilderness, a German shepherd found herself facing the most perilous moment of her life as labor began. Stranded, defenseless, and suffering, it appeared her story would end tragically. However, when a forest ranger discovered her, something extraordinary unfolded. Prepare yourself for an incredible tale that will render you absolutely stunned. The evening sun was slowly sinking beyond the tree-line, bathing the thick forest in a rich amber light. The afternoon had been tranquil, with nothing but far-off bird songs and the whisper of wind through branches disturbing the serenity. Suddenly, a radio burst into static, shattering the calm atmosphere. "Ranger Mark, we have an emergency report about a distressed canine near the woodland boundary. This is critical." The dispatcher's voice carried urgency and concern. There wasn't a second to lose. Mark's pulse quickened as he absorbed the message. A pregnant German shepherd had been sighted roaming the vicinity, seemingly trapped with no escape route to safety. According to the report, she appeared to be going into labor. Mark swiftly collected his equipment, his mind spinning with worry. Delivering pups in the wilderness presented enormous challenges, particularly when so isolated from assistance. Taking a resolute breath, he ventured into the forest, unaware he was walking straight into a life-threatening emergency. Through thick vegetation, Ranger Mark pressed forward, his breathing intensifying as he neared the clearing. The atmosphere was heavy with tension, broken only by the sound of twigs snapping under his feet. Upon entering the open space, there she was, a German shepherd sprawled on the earth, her frame shaking uncontrollably. Her swollen abdomen revealed the precious cargo she carried within. The instant Mark laid eyes on her, the severity of the circumstances became crystal clear. She lay completely isolated, miles from any refuge, and her strained breathing revealed the truth. She was actively delivering her litter right there in the merciless wild. One puppy had already arrived, its small form nestled against her side, yet several more awaited their entrance into the world. The mother was utterly drained, every fiber of her being working beyond capacity. Movement was a struggle for her, each birth pang crashing over her like ocean waves. She released a quiet cry of agony, but found herself completely alone. No caring touch, no soothing words, only the harsh, unforgiving ground supporting her weight. Mark lowered himself next to her, careful not to cause alarm, yet understanding immediate action was necessary. He softly rested his palm on her flank, murmuring gentle words in hopes of providing comfort. Still, the dog remained clearly overwhelmed, exerting every ounce of energy to deliver her remaining offspring into existence. Each moment that passed intensified the battle. Mark observed the terror reflected in her gaze, a combination of suffering and complete exhaustion. Though the forest remained quiet, everything seemed deafeningly loud, the frantic breathing, the rustling foliage, the relentless march of time. Action couldn't be delayed any longer. Mark's heartbeat thundered as he positioned himself alongside the German shepherd, his hands shaking under the pressure of the critical moment. Despite her obvious fatigue, the dog continued straining. Her coat was damp with perspiration as she devoted every remaining bit of strength to bringing her puppies into the world. Mark felt the crushing weight of urgency bearing down upon him. The circumstances were desperate, and he could clearly see her deteriorating condition. Her body was failing, breathing becoming increasingly shallow and labored. While Mark attempted to evaluate the situation, the final puppy remained stubbornly trapped. He could glimpse its tiny head, but the delivery had stalled. The shepherd's body had stopped cooperating properly, her vitality draining away rapidly. Time was running out dangerously fast. The dog couldn't endure much longer without intervention. At that pivotal instant, Mark's professional experience guided him. He carefully yet decisively reached for the last puppy, doing whatever possible to assist its passage, though the task proved challenging. The mother's muscles had become rigid, and the pup was positioned awkwardly. Using gentle, confident movements, Mark worked methodically, gradually coaxing the tiny puppy to freedom. At last, following what seemed like forever, the pup emerged into Mark's ready grasp. He quickly cleared away the birth sac and rotated the pup, waiting for its first sound. The small creature's lungs expanded with air, and a soft, beautiful whimper echoed through the forest. Life had prevailed. Mark released a breath he hadn't known he was holding. The mother's gaze found his, weary yet brimming with relief. She had endured the torment, and now her babies were secure, thanks to the ranger's quick and skillful intervention. Even with the final pup now safely delivered into Mark's care, the ordeal was far from finished. The German Shepherd, despite the gratitude shining in her eyes, was clearly spent. Her respiration remained shallow as she lay motionless, her body quivering from the tremendous stress of childbirth. Mark understood that while the puppies lived, their continued survival wasn't certain without immediate attention. Mark acted without delay. He tenderly collected the puppies, maintaining their warmth and closeness within his jacket. The evening air carried a bite, and temperatures would plummet quickly. He realized that without proper warmth, the puppies wouldn't last long in the wilderness. Pressing them against his chest, he kept them secure while redirecting his focus to their mother. The dog's state was critical. Mark had encountered distressed animals previously, but this situation was unique. The German Shepherd teetered on the edge of total collapse, her strength rapidly disappearing. He swiftly assessed her condition, his experienced hands examining her body with methodical care. Though still breathing, the exhaustion, blood loss, and trauma were claiming their toll. Without a moment's hesitation, Mark gently scooped her into his embrace. The return journey to his vehicle would prove hazardous. Carrying both the mother and her litter simultaneously would be incredibly difficult. Yet no alternative existed. The mother's survival depended on swift action, and the puppies desperately needed her. Each footstep felt endless. The responsibility of the rescue weighed heavily on Mark's frame, but his determination never wavered. He could detect the soft whimpering of the puppies, and their sounds fueled his resolve to press forward. Step by careful step, Mark navigated back through the woodland, committed to saving every life in his care. Upon reaching his truck, he moved with purpose. With the puppies safely nestled in his jacket, Mark positioned the mother in the vehicle's rear, taking great care to ensure her comfort and stability. His heart hammered against his ribs, knowing that reaching veterinary care quickly represented their sole chance for survival. He sensed the challenging journey that lay ahead, but surrender was not an option. While Mark navigated his truck through the wilderness, his thoughts inevitably turned to everything that had just transpired. The German Shepherd's natural instincts had emerged precisely when needed most. Isolated and without assistance, she had relied on her body and battled through life's most challenging trial. The drive to reproduce, even under the harshest circumstances, represented a fundamental force that sustained her. Mark came to understand that what he had experienced transcended a simple rescue. It embodied the pure essence of survival. Though beaten and exhausted, the dog had persevered, motivated by the basic instinct to nurture and create life. This served as a powerful reminder of just how formidable that drive could be. The wilderness showed no mercy, yet it wasn't as heartless as appearances suggested. Occasionally, it merely challenged strength and determination, and the German Shepherd had demonstrated she possessed both qualities abundantly. Mark considered the puppies and their fragile lives that had hung precariously in the forest's depths. Had his arrival been delayed by mere minutes, the results might have been tragically different. However, this wasn't simply fortune. It represented proof of the determination to survive and the remarkable connection between existence and optimism. Complete darkness had fallen when Mark arrived at the veterinary clinic with the German Shepherd and her offspring. The exhausting, challenging trek had felt like an eternity. Yet as he crossed the clinic threshold, hope began to flourish. The veterinarian immediately assumed control, moving rapidly to stabilize the mother. Her body, though damaged, showed remarkable resilience, just like the lives she had struggled so valiantly to bring forth. Over the following days, the shepherd regained her strength while her puppies flourished. They formed an energetic, spirited bunch, bursting with vitality and potential. Each one served as a living reminder of the miracle that had occurred in the wild. The connection between mother and offspring was unmistakable, a testament to the power of survival and the determination to live. Mark made daily visits to observe their progress. He recognized the story extended beyond a simple rescue. It represented a fresh start, one founded upon hope, persistence, and the fundamental force of life itself.